So it's funny how these everyday little coincidences happen. I've just had a postcard off a couple of friends of mine in Australia, which is absolutely fantastic, lovely. And I've been obviously, because I just had this card off them, I've been thinking about them, and I've been thinking how nice it'd be to see them, and missing them, and how nice it'd be to show them my little nature reserve and all that at the moment, which is great. So I've been walking around the nature reserve, and I've had that in the back of my mind. And then I come across something quite unusual, which I think of as like the Welsh parrot. Now everyone knows there isn't any parrots in Wales, but the crossbill is a little finch, and it reminds me of parrots, and I'll tell you one of the reasons why. If you look behind me, you'll see acres and acres and acres of pine trees, and there's a lot of crossbills in there, but they're ever so difficult to see because they're normally right up in the top of the trees. Now, like parrots, they're quite colourful little things and very characterful, but they travel, much like parrots, in a small group from wherever the trees are fruiting and the nuts or pine nuts or whatever are ripe, and then they travel in a little group to the next place and feed there and so on. But they're difficult to see. And then when I was walking around the nature reserve this morning, I could see the pine cones falling down onto the ground, and it made me look up right to the top of the tree to see what was there. Now, of course, if you didn't know anything about birds in Wales, and you're a little bit dim, you could spend a long time standing at the bottom of the tree, looking up, thinking there was a squirrel there. But actually, it's going to be these crossbills, and they're feeding on them, and they're quite incredible little animals to see because they've got a very job-specific beak, which is only for getting into the nut at the base of the pine cone, and they've also got quite dexterous feet, so they can actually grasp it, hold it, and then get the nut out the bottom. Really quite interesting little birds to see. And like I say, it puts me in mind of my friends in Australia, and these are my little friends in Wales, and luckily I managed to get some really nice footage of them. They're surprisingly colourful little birds as well, very, very attractive, and even though they fly like the finches they are, they've got a very kind of exotic nature to them, if you like. And the other thing that makes them always a bit special is you don't often get a good view of them. So when you do, it just makes it that extra bit of special. And a real coincidence to get such a lovely view of them today, on the day I've been walking around thinking about my friends in Australia. Fantastic, really, isn't it? And for everyone who watches my videos or has seen quite a few of my videos, you'll notice that Bert has now got his little friend whose name is Juno, and he'll probably be in another video after this one, I should imagine.